Greetings and Assalamualaikum to Sir Izzat. My name is Syakira Huda Binti Anuar and I'm from BTESL MSCC Sabah. And today, me and my group mates are going to present our minor project instructional styles and strategies. Our group consists of 5 members who are Colleen Zia Marius, Muhammad Ashahryl, Neyzan Hasnal, Masyitah Badrulaini, Hidayah, and me myself, Syakira Huda. And I'm going to start off the presentation with my part of this lesson plan, which is the details. We're going to do it on week 10, just like I have what we have put in this particular slide on Monday, on 15 May 2023, and the time is 8 a.m. until 9 a.m. It is for class 3 Alamanda, which consists of 30 students, and it's going to be a 1 hour lesson. It is for Unit 3, Permainan Kategori Serangan, and the theme is basketball. We're moving on to the content and learning standard, which are for the cognitive. It is for 2.3, which is mengaplikasikan pengetahuan konsep pergerakan dan prinsip mekanik dalam kemahiran asas bola keranjang. And then 2.3.1, menjelaskan penggunaan daya semasa menghantar bola ke pelbagai jarak dan kelajuan. And for psychomotor, it is 1.3, melakukan kemahiran asas bola keranjang dengan lakuan yang betul. And 1.31, melakukan pelbagai kemahiran menghantar bola ke serangan dalam situasi permainan. And 1.32, melakukan kemahiran menerima bola dalam situasi permainan. And last but not least, for the affective domain, which is 5.3, berkomunikasi dalam pelbagai cara semasa melakukan aktiviti. And 5.3.1, berkomunikasi dengan ahli kumpulan untuk melaksanakan aktiviti fizikal atau mencapai maklumat. The learning objectives for this particular lesson plan is, by the end of the lesson, the students are going to be able to identify receiving and sending balls technique, improve their self-confidence and their social involvement with their friends, and last but not least, they're going to be able to perform basic skills of receiving and sending ball with proper and safe techniques. For the curriculum values, the students are going to be more to have a spirit of sport, teamwork, helping hand, and also communication skills. And the teaching aids that we are going to use as the teachers are textbook, basketballs, whistle, and cones. Now moving on to the first stage of the lesson plan, which is the introduction. It is going to only take 5 minutes, and for the activities that are going to be conducted within this lesson are warming up activity, where the students are to play Pukul Berapa Datuk Harimau, and also stretching activity, where it is like more onto a warming up session from head, body, and to toe. For Pukul Berapa Datuk Harimau, students are going to be divided into 2 groups according to the even and odd numbers. So there are going to be 15 students per group. Okay, and also in every group, 1 student gets to be the Datuk Harimau. And then the students ask what is the time to the Datuk Harimau. Then the Datuk Harimau turns his head and the students cannot move. If the students move when Datuk Harimau turns to them, they will be eliminated. And when Datuk Harimau announces it is meal time, the students have to run away from Datuk Harimau, from being the prey of Datuk Harimau. Okay. For the head to toe warm-up exercises, after we are done with the warm-up activity, now we're going to move on to another activity, which is the warming up, where the first thing, the students are going to be instructed to form a very big circle of 30 students of them, and the teachers are going to stand in the middle of the circle. The teacher starts the warming up activity with stretching, followed by students. Okay, so for the head, they are going to do the basic one. For example, like turn their head to look left and look right for 8 seconds each direction, and tilt head ear to left shoulder, ear to right shoulder, keep shoulders down and next relax, each side for 8 seconds. And then for the body, roll the shoulder backwards 8 times, then forward for 8 times. And hands on shoulders, next relax, push elbows out to stretch the chest, bring elbows in to stretch the back, and it is going to be repeated for 4 times. And after that, the students are going to stand tall, hand on their hips, bend at the waist, and front, side, back, side, and then reverse direction. And then the students are going to stay in their position where they're going to put their right knee up and then extend the leg. It is going to be repeated 8 times, and then they're going to switch to the other leg. And after we are done with the body part, we're going to move on to the toe part, where the students are going to put this leg straight and then lift their right leg out to the side, and then repeat 8 times and switch to other legs. And the students are going to do another toe exercise, where it is bend right leg, heel in, and swing leg forward and back, and it is going to be repeated 8 times, and then they're going to switch leg again to the left leg. And they're going to do another toe exercise, which is right leg out in front, point toes, and then flex foot, repeat 8 times, and then they're going to rotate the ankle clockwise 8 times, then counterclockwise 8 times, and then it is going to be repeated with another leg. Why do we need to do this kind of exercise? It actually helps the student to increase the pulse rate on the body temperature of the student. And also, this cannot be forgotten. This actually has to be done to prevent the students from hurting their muscles, and maybe it is a shock when they suddenly do development or evaluation activity without warming up and stretching their body first. So it is actually crucial to do the introduction part where they have to warm up first. Now that is all from me. I'm passing to the next presenter for the development part. And thank you.
Hi, I'm Masyitah Badrulaini Binti Oyot, and I'm from MSUC Sabah. Moving on to the development part, the students are attempting to pass and receive the ball by tossing the ball up and extend both hands at face, head, and greeting. The method for tossing up the ball up and receiving it bounce pass is initially described by the teacher, and the instructor walks the class through a tutorial on how to properly throw and catch the ball in front of them. For the skills, the students get the chance to enhance the game's level of focus and train the students' comprehension. The tool we use tap and ball, and the value of this practice is, of course, teamwork. For the bounce activity, there are several techniques for doing this. Where both hands hold the ball at the chase level, the player advances one step before pushing the ball with a distance of 1 out of 3 to the ground, causing it to bounce back and be met by the teammates. While the technique for receiving the ball in bouncing pass, take hold of the ball with both hands and waist height in front of the body, and make sure the ball is met with the fingers and not with the palm of the hand. For this bounce activity, the basketball bounce pass mechanics and functions are described by the instructor. The teacher then instructed the students to divide into 2 groups, which consist 7 to 8 individuals for each. The teacher will decide which group will toss the ball first and which group will catch it. Activities are carried out by students in turns for 15 minutes, and the teacher will sound the whistle at the 8-minute mark and tell the students to switch the roles of the groups that are tossing and receiving the ball respectively, and the teacher blows the whistle to mark the end of the activity. For the illustration of this practice bouncing balls, both transmitting and receiving, A and B will be in 2 lines facing each other, and A will walk to front, toss the ball initially, and B will catch it. As B receives the ball, B then walk to front and bounce the ball and pass it to A. This activity will be repeated for 2 rounds.
I'm Hidayah Binti Yunus, and I will be presenting the development part, which is 20 minutes. So for my activity, it is dribbling technique. So for the dribbling technique, players should use fingers to dribble, not palms. While dribbling the ball, the player's body needs to be lowered by flexing the knees, and the player's eyes should look forward. The player uses one hand to push the ball to the floor by using only their fingers. So moving on to the details of the dribbling activity. So first of all, the teacher divides the students into groups, 5 dribblers and 3 chasers. Second, the teacher will instruct the students and begin the activity. The chaser will try to touch the dribbled ball inside the appropriate area. Third, if the ball is touched by the chaser, the dribbler must squat. Fourth, the students who squats can stand up again if the other teammates dribbled the ball around them. Students who make dribbling errors or are unable to dribble the ball consistently are deemed to have been touched and need to squat. Sixth, the game will go on for 3 minutes or until all of the students who are dribbling have squatted. And last but not least, the teacher will blow the whistle to end the game. So moving on to the ball dribbling exercise, player A and player B. Player A will dribble the ball first in the opening minute while player B tries to block player A. The duration of this exercise activity is 8 minutes or until player B receives the ball. Following the allotted 8 minutes, player B will move into player A's position and dribble the ball while player A blocks and tries to steal it from player B.
Greetings to Sir Izzat, my name is Colleen Zia Marius. So right now I'll be talking about the evaluation phase, which will be done for 10 minutes. So during this phase, the students will actually be playing like a short mini basketball session. So just like every other basketball games, the students will be divided into 2 groups. However, for this, they will be divided as into 15 in each group. So the teacher will choose from each group the first 5 versus 5. So this is a 5v5 game, and then the students will have to work as a team to earn scores for their group. So using all the techniques like dribbling, passing, shooting, they will have to use all the skills that was learned before to play this game. And the teacher will then rotate students from each group so that every student will have the chance to participate. So everyone will be involved and there won't be a student missed out throughout this phase. So during the game, the teacher will observe and evaluate students dribbling, passing, shooting, and also their teamwork skills. So for this phase, they will only need a basketball, and then the teacher will have to use the whistle to either stop the game or continue the game, and or pause the game. So skills, as mentioned, are dribbling, passing, and shooting. So the value for this phase is actually for the students to work as a team. So moving on, this is the rubric throughout the evaluation phase. So the teacher won't only evaluate one student, but as a whole, like the whole class. So there will be dribbling, passing, shooting, and lastly teamwork. So from there, they will be evaluated from the scale of 4 until 1. So from excellent, good, average, and until poor. So depending on how all the students are doing throughout the evaluation phase, they will be evaluated, and they'll be given marks based on the assessment. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Last but not least, it will be the closure part, which will take at least 5 minutes. The closure part includes the feedback section. So firstly, so before I start what it will do, the skills and value that are involved are, firstly, skills, which is listening and critical thinking skill. On the other hand, value that are involved in closure part, which is survival and cooperation, aka independent. So what will happen in the feedback part? It will be the teacher complimented the pupils on how well they did on the activity today, the basketball. Teachers emphasize students' effort and hard work during learning as well as the final product. Number 3, teacher offer pupils advice on how to develop their skills, and that is both positive and detailed in regards to the activity that happened today, which within our context is basketball. And number 4, lastly, includes specific illustration that can aid in their improvement or the development of any talents that are still lacking. That is all for my part, which is closure. Thank you.